Who are you?
I'm Harry Vanderspiegel. I'm a doctor. You don't have anything to worry about. I'm not an alien.
All right, look, that's one creepy son of a bitch, right?
It's okay for people to be a little bit different sometimes.
This is some bullshit.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, it's Wednesday. Welcome. We are Dark Horse Comics. It is Wednesday, which means it is New Comic Book Day. And so we are back for the New Comic Book Day rundown, where we're going to show off this week's new releases. And I'm going to go over a few quick news announcements and updates, but not nearly as many as we have been doing lately, because we want to really get into the new releases this week. So I'm Kara, and with me today is Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hello, everybody. You don't usually get to see me because I'm behind the scenes running the stream and putting up all the graphics and running all the videos. But here we are today to have a quick rundown of new releases and new announcements.
Gary is always here with us behind the scenes, and we could not do Twitch without him. So thank you, Gary. And it's always a pleasure to have him on screen with us too. So this is going to be fun. A few just general stream reminders. If you're new to our streams or are a returning viewer, just a quick reminder, we do try to stream every Wednesday for New Comic Book Day, and or often with special guests in the comics community. So keep checking back. We update our schedule every week on Mondays, and we'll let you know who our guests are. I'm going to talk more about this in just a minute, but we do have another special stream this week that is actually tomorrow on Thursday. So more to come on that in just a sec. The stream trailer today was for Resident Alien, which if you're not following that show, it's a series right now on Sci-Fi. It's also available to stream on their website and also on Peacock, which is, I think, the NBC streaming service.
Yeah. But
you can watch it for free as a stream also. Resident Alien stars Alan Tudyk, who everybody probably knows from Firefly, especially, right? It's really good. It is based on the Resident Alien comics by Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse. And I just want to shout it out again today because today is the season finale on Sci-Fi. So catch that if you can. It's going to be really good. They have lots of fun guest stars. The Ancient Aliens guy is one of them, and I just think that's hilarious.
That's going to be awesome.
Plus a lot of other really cool people. So check that out. More info on sci-fi.com. And as I said, it's streaming for free. I often watch it on the Sci-Fi website myself. So season finale tonight, but it was renewed for a season 2. So there will be more, which is pretty exciting. So congrats to all the cast and crew and to the comics creators as well. If you haven't read the comics, there is an omnibus available, which I highly recommend. It collects the first few series because Resident Alien has actually been going on for a while in comics. So you can get caught up and see what the comics are like. It's a bit different from the show, but I think this show's a good adaptation.
Yeah, it's a fun romp through that world, and it's such a great concept. But I definitely enjoy the comic for its much more classic kind of fish out of water, but also hits the spy genre really well, which is really fun twist. But yeah, the show has definitely been impressive to see so far, and thankfully, fantastic use of Alan Tudyk as a brilliant comic actor.
He's amazing. You just have to watch it. You can watch little clips on their YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I knew he was funny, but you see his true comic talent at the fore in this show. So like I said, Resident Alien season finale tonight. Don't miss it. And a couple stream notes before we get into it. We do have a giveaway today that's going to open in just a moment. The keyword this week is Dragon Age, all one word, all lowercase. Just enter that in the chat if you are watching the stream live. You only need to enter it once and your entry will be counted. If you're watching this later, I'm sorry, the giveaway is just during the live stream. But again, keyword Dragon Age, and what you will win is a copy of each single issue this week, which includes a new Dragon Age comic. So that's why. That's the keyword. Giveaway is going to open momentarily. And then I'm going to turn this over to Gary to tell you more about where you can get all the comics we're going to talk about today.
especially with comics, especially with comic shops that have thankfully survived our situation as much as they have. We always encourage you to shop locally as much as possible. So please feel free to hit Comic Shop Locator. Check on IndieBound for any of the books that you might be interested in, for the trade paperbacks especially. But definitely hit comicshoplocator.com to check for your local comic shop to see where you might want to be getting all the new releases we're talking about, and or set up a pull box or a subscription effectively to get any comics you're really interested in every time something new comes out in that line.
Absolutely. Yeah, I always like to remind folks about that subscription option. I know a lot of people who are newer to comics may not be familiar with that. So it's a good way to make sure you get every issue, because they usually come out about monthly. So with that said, before we dive into the new releases, I'm going to run through just a couple this week of news updates. Number one, the Mike Mignola documentary about his career called Drawing Monsters is now open for backing on Kickstarter. And in fact, we are in the final hours. So if you want to back the Mike Mignola Drawing Monsters documentary film on Kickstarter, make sure you get over there now. I think we're at about 8 hours now and counting down, 7 hours and counting down. There is a final stretch goal, which we are so close to right now. Like, it's incredibly close, actually. Right now we're at 499,950. When we get to 500,000, that's when we're going to hit that stretch goal. And that's going to unlock a new lenticular, which means the things that kind of change color when you hold them up, a lenticular slipcase for the Blu-ray. So once that's unlocked, which it looks like we're going to hit it, that's going to be added to the Kickstarter package, which is already overflowing with cool stuff. We're going to show you a few of the prints right now, but this, you do have to back a higher tier to get all of the full-sized, full-color prints, but it includes prints by Mike Mignola himself, Duncan Fegredo, Ben Stenbeck, Mike Norton, Lawrence Campbell, Craig Russo, Alex Malev, Fabio Moon, Gabriel Ba, Tim Sale, Paulo Rivera, but wait, there's more, Jill Thompson. I have to scroll down because there were a few more added. David Peterson, who is the Mouse Guard artist, which is a super cool crossover, if you ask me, and Matt Smith, who is also doing covers right now for the Young Hellboy series. So it's a lot. There are so many cool prints, and there are other things that have already been unlocked, including stickers, t-shirts, postcards. So you get a lot of cool stuff if you back the Kickstarter, and you'll only get them if you back the Kickstarter. The slipcase that I mentioned is one of those things that is a Kickstarter exclusive only, so it won't be available in any other format after the Kickstarter. The Blu-ray itself, I believe, will be made available for retailers, but these Kickstarter only options are, you have to back it to get them. So get in on that now. We're going to drop a link in the chat, or you can also just find it on Kickstarter. Final hours, 7 hours left. Don't wait. So close. We're so close. And the documentary itself looks really cool too. Like, I'm genuinely excited about the documentary. So
this looks amazing all around. I actually need to go today and see if there's any tiers I can afford, because I kind of want to get in on this one because it just looks too good. There's just too much stuff.
I backed it. The prints honestly were a bit rich for my blood. It is a little, but it's a great deal on those prints. If you're an art collector or like a big Hellboy fan, if you do the math, all those 14 prints for that little amount, plus all the other stuff, it's incredibly cheap. So it's, if you can make an investment, but yeah, check it out. The documentary itself too, I should mention. So it's going to include interviews with people like, you might have heard of these people, Neil Gaiman, Rebecca Sugar, Steven Universe, Doug Jones, who's the actor who plays Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies. We also have Victor Laval, actor who also appears in the movies, a few others from the movies, including one Guillermo del Toro. So that's pretty cool. Patton Oswalt. We also have Chris Roberson, Chris Golden, Katie O'Brien, Mike Richardson, and others who work on the comics, and other artists and just folks that like Adam Savage from Mythbusters. I mean, that's pretty cool. So got a lot of cool interviews in this. And what the Kickstarter has done is provided funding for them to capture more interviews and basically add more to it. So the Blu-ray itself is now up to 2 discs, I think maybe 3. So Mike Mignola, the Kickstarter is now on and counting down, and we just broke 500,000. So look at that.
Ooh, just like that.
Hey. I'm going to say that we on Twitch did that. So
That's
thank
right.
you everybody on Twitch.
Tipped it over the top. You heard it here live.
Mike Mignola's Drawing Monsters, subtitled The Secret Origin of Hellboy. So interview, of course, with Mike himself, and just all about his career, not only Hellboy, but all of the other amazing things he's done. So very cool. You can still back it for a few more hours. Final newsy thing for today. Tomorrow, like I mentioned, we're going to have another special stream. Gary and I will both be here, although Gary will probably be behind the scenes like he usually is, but maybe he can say hi at least. But we're very excited to welcome the Unique Studios creators. Dark Horse recently welcomed Unique Studios to our overall publishing umbrella. Unique is created by Roy Okupe. It's an African created superhero universe. The Unique universe, all spelled YOU, is an ever-expanding, intertwined universe of superheroes created by African creators and about kind of based on African mythology and history, but really it's for everyone. And he's been publishing independently prior to now, but Dark Horse has made a deal, and we are going to be publishing new editions of several of their previously done graphic novels, including Malika Warrior Queen, Ianu Child of Wonder, and EXO The Legend of Whale Williams. And then we're going to get into some new material and publish all new books. So we're excited to welcome Roy Okupe and artist Sukami Akinboye tomorrow. They will be chatting with me about the whole Unique line, so you can learn more about it. And Sukami is going to be drawing on stream. He's going to show how to draw characters, including Malika, and then we'll see who else he wants to draw while we chat. But please join us. That's going to be starting at noon Pacific time, so that's 3 p.m. Eastern, GMT -7. I'm not going to do the math for every time zone, I'm sorry. But that's going to start, as I said, at noon Pacific, and probably last for about an hour, hour and a half, as our streams usually do here on Twitch. Join us in the live chat for Q&A. Ask your questions of Roy, ask your questions of Sukami. If you're curious about not only the Unique line, but also kind of how to draw these characters, how to get started in comics yourself, please join us. It's a great opportunity to chat with them.
Yeah, this is really a thrilling partnership, and it's really fun. An odd side effect of pandemic times has been that we've been able to have live conversations with people all over the world in real time. I'm really looking forward to this stream tomorrow to have some of that happening. Thankfully, it's only going to be 8 or 9 p.m. in where Sukami is going to be tomorrow, so we won't keep him up too late. But it is really fun to be able to have that global live conversation and have this excitement about new comics that we may not have ever heard about in real time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's a great point. Sukami will be joining us from his home in Nigeria. So yeah, that's quite a time zone difference, but we've worked it out. It's not quite, I think the biggest one we've had yet was Ben Stembeck in New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand was 14 hours ahead, which is it's almost like streaming with friends in Singapore. But yeah. This is just a quick hop over the Atlantic, you know. It's only 8, 9 hours.
For some reason, like that one was harder. Like that was hardest for my brain to process, like what the time difference was and like whether it would be super early or super late for Ben. I think it was complicated by the fact that we also had Warwick Johnson Cabwell, who's in the UK. So we were like about as different, like separated time-wise as we could be.
Yeah. How do we get, well, it's always weird to go with folks who are literally in the future.
Yeah.
So New Zealand is already in tomorrow, and it's 4 a.m. tomorrow his time. We were at late afternoon our time. And
that's why.
Work
in
England was 8 hours ahead, evening time. Definitely felt really weird.
Yeah. And we obviously are in Pacific time here, which is later, I guess, for other folks in the US. So anyway, GMT or UTC, -7 now because of daylight savings. So that's on our Twitch schedule here. We'll remind people again tomorrow, and we also have a page on our website to see more news and more announcements and more details about that stream. Definitely check out our website, darkhorse.com. Front page and our blog has all of the news, all of the recent announcements. You can catch up on those. And you can watch our previous streams always as VODs on YouTube, available now. This stream also will be on our YouTube. Given the extra stream this week, I would say check back early next week, but we'll post on our social media when it's up on YouTube as well. So we're keeping it short with the news today. Time for new releases. I am a big Dragon Age fan, which you may know if you watch the stream regularly. But I'm really excited about the new Dragon Age series that we have starting today. It is called Dark Fortress. And the Dragon Age comics that Dark Horse does are always in partnership with BioWare. They are canon stories that are original, that take place, outside of the game, but in the context of the games. And so the creative team on this one has been working on Dragon Age comics for a while. All the stories are interconnected. So this is kind of a continuation of all of theirs, but especially the last one, which is called Blue Wraith. And it stars Fenris. So if you love Dragon Age 2, or you just love Fenris, this is definitely a series for you. He's kind of the main character. The series itself is by Nunzio De Philippis, Christina Weir, Fernando Hines Furukawa, colors by Michael Attia, letters by the all omnipotent letterer Nate Picos, who letters like everything. And he's amazing. Cover art, as always, for Dragon Age comics is by Sashin Teng. And it's beautiful. You should see all his covers together. Check them out on our website. But so, as I said, this one stars Fenris. It picks up where Blue Wraith kind of left off. They've moved deep into enemy territory, and Fenris is with a team of Inquisition agents, and they're preparing to assault a fortress said to be unbreakable. We'll see about that, in a bid to prevent the unthinkable from being unleashed. So, Dragon Age fans, don't miss it. Dragon Age Dark Fortress #1 starts today, and this is going to conclude those most recent Dragon Age comics. This whole storyline is going to come to a conclusion at the end of this mini-series. So.
Exciting. Jumping into our next title today, we're looking at Young Hellboy, issue 2 in the Hidden Land series. So this is continuing the early Young Hellboy stories, which finally get into some of that backstory that we've never heard of. This one's covering after meeting a missing adventurer and being taken in by the island's Onar people, Hellboy and Professor Butenholm delve deeper into the strange island's mysteries. Exploring a previous civilization's ruins reveals more about that local history and grabs the attention of some gruesome foes. This one's a fun series, and it's, like I say, I'm thrilled to see more of the backstory. It's always fun to see more about where did all this come from, and in a more serious way than it was with some of the more comedic itty-bitty Hellboy stories. This is really kind of fun to be like, what the hell was his childhood like? How did that even work? So it's actually kind of neat to see, here's some of the stories.
It's really fun. It's very pulpy. If you like, sort of Tintin style, this will be for you. And I think a lot of people maybe haven't realized that Hellboy has continued in comics for quite a while. The main series may have come to an end, but BPRD has continued. Hellboy in the BPRD has continued. You get to see Hellboy all throughout the years. But this one throws it all the way back to young, childlike Hellboy for the first time. And by making Hellboy a child, you get that sense of wonder and adventure in these stories. And like I said, it's like an adventure story like Tintin, with just fun. Like if you were a kid, what kind of monster elements would you have fun with? You got sort of a King Kong thing, you got some dinosaurs. It's just fun. So. New Young Hellboy. And let's see. So also in single issues today, we have a new Witcher comic, which I'm also a huge fan of the Witcher game. So this is another exciting one for me. The Witcher Fading Memories, issue #4 is what we have out today. We have 2 covers, as always, for this series. They are both beautiful. Main covers are by Evan Cagle, and variant covers are by Jeremy Wilson. If you are a collector, I recommend you get both at your comic shops. I've seen some comic shops only carrying one, so you may have to do that thing we mentioned where you subscribe or make sure you pre-order specific covers. But like I said, both beautiful. The series is written by Bartosz Sztybor, who is a writer for CD Projekt Red, so extra authenticity for those fans of the games. Art by Ahmad Mir and Hamid Sheikh, and letters by Steve Dutro. These series by Sztybor for the Witcher comics, the last miniseries and now this one, he really gets into these kind of darker, I mean, The Witcher is already fairly dark, but these are dark and emotional themes for these comics. Really beautifully done, though. So in issue number 4, to preserve the secret behind the mage, the mayoress makes Geralt an offer, one that would solve his struggles working as a Witcher, but also one of great risk and moral strife. Do the townspeople deserve the truth, or is there empathy in allowing the illusion? Geralt must make a choice, his livelihood or his conscience. I'm kind of glad that one isn't a storyline in the game, because I would probably agonize over that decision. But the Witcher comics are gorgeous if you're a fan of the games or of the show, but just know that these are based on the CD Projekt Red world of The Witcher, the games, which are, of course, ultimately based on those books, but they're not like a direct analog of the live action series. But they are very good, and we have lots of comics, so look for new collections coming up soon. You can see those that are available for pre-order on our website, darkhorse.com. But that rounds out our single issues for this week. It's a bit lighter week.
Yep. Jumping over to the book releases, we've got a trade paperback release of Bandette. And so this is the series by Paul Tobin and Colleen Coover. Oh, no. Yep. Recommended for ages 12 and up. Just reviewing Bandette's topics today. The world's greatest thief is a costumed teen burglar by the alias of Bandette, and she's been challenged for the title. The great thieving race is on, as Bandette and rival Monsieur compete to steal priceless artifacts from a criminal organization and its evil leader, but their response could make this Bandette's final crime spree. So this was a fun collection to get them all in one place, or volume 2 of the continuing story of Bandette. You have pick up volume 1, volume 2. Again, hit indiebound.org to see where you can pick them up locally, or grab them online. But it's a great series. It's really a lot of fun, and it's a fun way to sort of get into that caper comic style, kind of sidelong along the superhero comic themes, but definitely really fun to see what is it like. All of the alter ego elements are there, and just all the fun spy hijinks.
A really, really entertaining series by husband and wife duo Paul Tobin and Colleen Coover. Eisner Award winning too.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's really fun. I'm glad that we have these new collections coming out, so hopefully more people can check the series out. We also have a new trade paperback out today of Kill Whitey Donovan, which collects the full 5-issue miniseries by Sydney Duncan and Natalie Barahona, with some variant cover art by Jason Pearson. This series, this is one that, unfortunately, the single issues, the latter ones kind of came out during the pandemic or were affected by the pandemic. So you might not have seen this series earlier, unfortunately, because there was so much else going on and so many other concerns, legitimate concerns, but a lot going on in the world. But Kill Whitey Donovan is it's a debut for these creators, and they really did a fantastic job. The plot, basically, after Anna Hoyt's sister commits suicide, Anna sets off for Atlanta to kill the man responsible for destroying her family, her fiance, Jim, known as Whitey Donovan. But Anna, a spirited, though pampered, daughter of a prominent doctor, can't do it alone. To get through the hell that lay between her Alabama home and Atlanta, she makes a deal with one of the Donovan slaves. This is, by the way, set during Civil War times, named Hattie Virgil, who has an agenda all her own. In exchange for a chance at freedom, Hattie, a survivor, will lead this unlikely pair on a quest that will change them both forever. So this, as I said, is a Civil War era miniseries, definitely revenge themed. Definitely touches on issues of race, but in a very different way. The creators themselves are from the South, and I think they bring a really strong, positive perspective to this. They don't sugarcoat anything. So it may be a bit of a tough read, but it's definitely a well-told story. So this collection is the full miniseries, now available at comic shops, and it will soon be in bookstores as well. I've mentioned on previous streams, there are some weird things going on with shipping due to weather and, ships stuck in canals and things like that. So some shops may get these at different times, but comic shops today and bookstores coming soon.
Continuing our series of new trade paperbacks, today we've also got Spy Island by Chelsea Kane, Liam Maternique, Elsie McCall, Rachel Rosenberg, and Joe Caramaga. The world's best spies keep watch over Bermuda Triangle from a mysterious island outpost teeming with supernatural intrigue, monsters, and evil villains set on global domination. The best of these spies is named Nora Freud, no relation. She knows 87 ways to kill someone with a cocktail toothpick, and she's used 32 of them. Lately, though, Nora has started to feel like she's going through the motions. Close to the temporal portal, assassinate the genocidal maniac, have sex with the MI6 agent. Plus, the island has gotten kind of touristy. She agrees to one last mission. But when Nora's troubled marine cryptozoologist sister shows up unexpectedly, warning of mermaid attacks, Nora realizes that boredom is not her biggest problem. This trade paperback collects issues 1 through 4 of the series, so if you haven't seen it yet, it's actually a really great way to get started with a fun series that sort of takes all of the classic spy novel tropes and throws them into a beautifully drawn comic that is a lot of fun, taking all of those things and putting a good twist on them, but also surprisingly well integrating all of them into a story that holds together all of that random stuff. How does that work so well? So it's a great read. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great team.
Yeah, this team, of course, also most of the team from Maneaters. It is the team from Maneaters.
Yeah.
And local, Chelsea Kane and Leah and folks. And I like to point out that this series contains cocktail recipes.
That's true. That's a great hit. And there's actually great cocktail recipes in there too. Yeah. Anything tropical, fun for a fun at-home getaway.
Delicious tropical themed drinks. Yes, Rex is here. He has slept through the last couple streams actually, so sorry to the Rex fans, but here he is, getting me all covered in hair. Thanks, Rex. Yeah. So we do have a shorter week of new releases actually. That is the end of our new to comic shops today, this Wednesday, rundown of new releases. I'm gonna get Rex to the side here for a second so I can draw a winner in our giveaway. Thanks to those who have been joining us in the chat and have entered said giveaway. All you need to do in order to claim, let me draw an entrant right now. Cheers to Fraz Danton, FrazDantN. You can use the claim command in the chat, which is !claim, and or just send us a whisper here on Twitch, a private message, and we'll get in touch and arrange shipping with you for your prize. You want a copy of each single issue that we talked about today. So those single issue comics, that'll be packaged up for you and sent your way. Congrats and thanks again. Thank you everybody for joining us in the chat today for a quicker new comic book day. Thank you, Gary, for helping me out, as always.
My pleasure. Thank you again to the chosen few who joined us today. It was a little bit of a smaller crowd for a shorter stream, but that's just fine.
Yeah. And this VOD will be available on YouTube later on. As always, we'll let you know when it's up. And we will see you tomorrow. Come back for a longer stream with the unique team of Roy Okupe and Tsukami Akinboye as we go over the whole unique universe and the how to draw some of the unique characters. So that'll be starting up at noon Pacific until we're done. Lots more info on our social media. We're just at Dark Horse Comics across all, and on our website, of course, darkhorse.com. And with that, we'll sign off and we will see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Thanks, everybody.
Before the beginning, there was nothing. No earth, no heavens, no stars, no sky. Only the mist world, formless and shapeless. And the fire world, always burning. In Jotunheim, the home of the giants, is Mimir's well. Mimir, the wise one, the guardian of memory, knows many things. His well is wisdom. The ash tree grows between the 9 worlds and joins them each to each. The dragon Midhogg lives in these waters, and it is always gnawing at the root from below. At the edge of the flame stood Sota. He will go forth from Muspel with his flaming sword and burn the world with fire, and one by one the gods will fall before him.